This is Jnn.
Good evening and welcome to the Johnny News Network. I'm Larry Glendenning.
And I'm Arnold Geertz Landman Jr.
2008 was a difficult year for South Africa. Widespread riots, civil disobedience and the rand plummeting to an all-time low.
All of these factors can be traced directly back to the departure of South Africa's favourite son. Tonight we take an in-depth look at how the country has coped in the subsequent years.
Nowhere is the economic downturn caused by Johnny's departure more evident than here in the heart of Observatory. The Touch of Madness was an institution in these parts, a thriving restaurant and a bustling bar. But without Johnny, booze sales plummeted and the restaurant eventually folded.
I suppose because guys like you know, kept the business going, hosing through our Amstels and our single malt whiskies. And of course, sadly, that you guarding everybody else, thus we went under liquidation.
And it's the same story wherever you go in Cape Town. Johnny's absence has been sorely felt.
Jonathan, I miss you and I remember when we used to smoke buttons together.
I just wanted to say, we've really missed you. The country has just not been the same without Kefi.
Jonathan, we really have missed your services in the DA. You did fantastic work at IDASA. An intellectual as yourself really could make a big inroad in getting the blacks to vote for us.
Perhaps it's no surprise that the US now finds itself in a firmer financial footing. This is Boki Blitzer, JNN, Cape Town.
Boasting 854 Facebook friends and countless followers on the Twitter, it is clear that Johnny has had a vast impact on the social level. Tonight, we meet some of his contemporaries.
Abandonment. That's what it is. Jonathan Fall's supposed to be here, but he's not here. He's not even fucking anywhere near here. That time, in the high school, when I had to go into the deputy principal's office to convince the deputy principal that actually Jonathan Fall was legitimately poisoned by my family after eating wild mushrooms from the forest and was now pissing bright neon orange, and that he had to go to the doctor because he thought that he had Bilharzia. I should have just left it be. I should have left him to get into trouble, because that's all that he's done for us.
Believe it or not, that's what Johnny and I did 18 years ago. Now, he might not look like the fine-tuned athlete now, but believe you me, when Johnny is motivated, he can do anything.
Johnny is definitely a creature of habit. Everywhere he goes, he finds himself a local. He knows what day of the week every bartender is working and which side of the bar gets better air conditioning. It's very important to get to know the bartender. This has never been more true than in Boston when he was at Harvard. He had one particular local where I think Johnny was the only non-Bostonian to understand the word, what was said by the one barman.
I'm going to tell you a story about Jonathan actually from when we were living together in Observatory. Not many people know that he was a noted crime fighter. Many's the night when Jonathan would wake me up going, Arch, I've called Obswatch. There's someone in the neighbour's yard. And then we would shout at the people opposite and wait for Obswatch to come and watch them running up and down the road. And that's where Jonathan got the crime fighting name, the Grey Owl.
We were sitting around the dinner table at about 4 a.m. after far too many whiskies, on his part, of course. And conversation turned to this, I've forgotten his name, this Australian author, DJ Coetzee or something like that Jonathan's very partial to, and we raised some polite questions about the quality of this person's work. And Jonathan got really, really irate when we raised this topic. He really couldn't abide any conversation about, and he told us all to die. He started with me. He said, "You must just die," And he really did sound like he meant it. It was a scary moment. And then he turned to Sina and said, die. And I think that there were other people at the table too. And he said, we must all just die. And it was really quite a sad day. And if you're listening to this, Jonathan, I hope that you'll say sorry for this. It really hurt our feelings.
A natural athleticism honed on the rugby fields of the southern suburbs. Perhaps Johnny's greatest sporting achievements were with the round ball.
A crucial member of the mighty Firm AFC meant that greatness was assured. But Johnny wasn't one to rest on his laurels, and he soon became one of the game's mercurial managerial talents.
As a Springbok coach, I always wanted to select a very good hooker, and unfortunately Jonathan Fall immigrated, so we had to just go with Smitty and lately Bismarck du Plessis, but we really miss the talents of Jonathan. He's a very nuggety little hooker, and we wish him all the best as he plays in wherever in America.
In other news, a spate of early morning phone calls originating in the Washington DC area are thought to be the cause of a massive downswing in productivity in the larger Cape Town metropolitan area.
These calls, largely incoherent and overly emotional in nature, are a reminder to all those who receive them that we are living in a Johnny-less country.
And that's all the news we have for you this evening. It's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.